right, we are back with another episode of It's That Easy. And today we're talking NCAA Tournament, man. We finally made it. So if you're watching, please like the video. Truly appreciate when you do that. And if you really want to, go ahead and subscribe. That way you keep track of whenever I put out new videos. So today we're going to talk about the Midwest region. So I don't want to... It's a lot of games coming on, so I don't want to take too much time, but I do want to go into each one. I'll put one out for each of the regions, at least for round one. Round two, I might not be able to do those as well, but what I do post are these on TikTok. So if you have TikTok, check me out. It is called It's That Easy as well, and those will be listed there. Now, remember, these are just my guesses at what's going to happen. I'm not telling you that this is exactly what's going to happen, but I will say I have been pretty good recently. So let's jump into it here. So we'll start off with Michigan and Howard. I know that Buffalo, you're not sure what that is. So that's Howard University. Michigan is actually the number one seed. Howard is 16. They just won their first four. They're part of the first four games. They won their play-in game, so now they'll be playing Michigan. Michigan is 31.5-point favorites. I'll be honest, I think that most of the time, I looked it up, most of the time the number one seed will beat will cover the spread against the number 16 seed. It's a lot of points. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm going to throw a few out there that maybe they don't happen and see how that works. I did see, I guess in 1985 is when they first went to 64 teams. And I did read that a couple of times there have been two upsets. I think they were pretty recent in the 2000s where the number one seed lost. And then there was two times that the number one seed won by 1 point over the number 16 seed. So you never know what's going to happen. So I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say the Howard Bison are going to cover that 31.5 points against the great Michigan team. It'll probably wake up Michigan. I'm not saying they're going to lose. It'll wake them up, get them started for the rest of the tournament. We got Georgia playing number 9 St. Louis Billikens. Let's see. Georgia scores about 90 points a game. St. Louis scores about 87. Rebound wise, St. Louis has a slight edge. And you know what? I was reading these and I see that some of the smaller teams have a slight edge in rebounds. And I think it's just because they play more of their own conference. But still, if you can rebound, you can rebound. You know, maybe it's not going to happen against Georgia, but St. Louis rebounds. And then on three-pointers, I guess offensively, they're both about the same. They shoot about the same percentage. But defensively, St. Louis actually defends the perimeter better against three-pointers. So for all that, I'm going to say, you know what? Let's see. Let's go out on a limb here. Number 8 versus number 9. I'm going to say St. Louis covers the 1.5 points, which if you've watched me in the past, I feel like that means they actually might win. But who knows? We'll see what happens there. The next game we'll talk is Texas Tech versus Akron. Texas Tech's number 5 in the nation, but they are missing one of their key big men, and they've been struggling recently. So Akron, on the other hand, has been doing pretty well. Akron's number 12 in the tournament there. Texas Tech scores about 80 points, but I'm going to guess without their big man there, it could be less. Akron scores about 88. They're actually been on a win streak, so kind of lean toward them. Here we go again. Rebound-wise, Akron actually rebounds on average. They get they pull more rebounds than Texas Tech does. Defensively, Texas Tech defends the three-point perimeter better, but Akron can score, obviously by the number of points per game. So 8.5 points. You know what? I'm going to go on a limb here. How many limbs are we going to go on, right? I'm going to go out and say that Akron's going to cover the 8.5 points. Doesn't mean Texas Tech loses. I just think that it's going to be closer than that 8.5 points there. Now, Tennessee, let's see. Okay, Alabama, number 4 in their bracket, or in the Midwest bracket, playing number 13 Hofstra. Alabama is they score 92 points a game. Hofstra scores about 76 points a game, but Alabama dominates rebounding wise. They're better offensively shooting threes, They're better at foul shooting as well. Hofstra, they actually defend the three pretty good. But I'm going to say that Alabama is a little too much for them. Alabama, it's an 11.5 point cover there, and I think Alabama will run it up, probably cover 15, 20 points there. Who knows? Tennessee, they're still so because of these 4 playing games. There's games going on right now that'll determine who's going to play them. I'm going to pick Tennessee right now, money line. I don't know who they're going to play yet. If something changes, I may post it on TikTok to show if there's a cover there. But I think whoever plays them, I think Tennessee's really good. So I think they'll be able to get out of the first round. So we're going to go Tennessee money line for now. We got number 3, Virginia, playing number 14, Wright State. Virginia is 18.5 point favorites. Let's see. Virginia they both score about 81 points a game. I put 2 checks here because Virginia really dominates in rebounding, especially over Wright State. They shoot threes better. They defend threes better. They shoot free throws better and a higher percentage. So because of all that, and Virginia was pretty tough in the ACC tournament, I'm going to say that they're going to cover the 18.5 points and put a beat down on Wright State. If you went to Wright State, no offense there. I'm sure great bunch of guys, but that's what I'm seeing there. Let's see. Kentucky, number 7, plays number 10, Santa Clara. Kentucky's a 3.5 point favorite. Let's see. Kentucky, 81 points a game. Santa Clara actually scores 83 points a game. Rebounding wise, Kentucky has a little slight edge in that. They defend the perimeter better, but Santa Clara shoots the 3-pointers better. Free throw wise, they're both about the same. So for that reason, and because I've seen Santa Clara play, and I think they're a pretty good team. They've hung with Gonzaga. They actually beat St. Mary's. So they've actually done some pretty good things recently. I'm going to say that they're going to cover the 3.5 points. I don't know if they beat Kentucky. Kentucky might actually just squeak it out there. But I'm going to go out and say that Santa Clara will cover the 3.5 points there. And then the last game that we'll talk about in the Midwest region will be Iowa State, number 2 in the region, against number 15, Tennessee State. Never heard of them. Iowa State is a 24.5 point favorite. They score 82 points a game. Tennessee State scores 81. Rebounding wise, they're pretty similar, but Tennessee has a slight edge in that. 3-pointers offensively, Iowa State dominates there, and they defend the 3 a lot better as well. Foul shooting, free throw wise, Tennessee State shoots a little more free throws, meaning Iowa State maybe not get to the free throw line as often, but 23.5 points. So some teams are going to cover these big spreads, some are not. I'm going to say that Iowa State's going to have a little chip on their shoulder after losing a heartbreaker to Arizona a couple of days ago in the Big 12 tournament, and they're going to take it out on Tennessee State. So that's the picks for the Midwest region. Like I said, I'll post these on TikTok. Another thing that I will post in the comments is if you want to participate in betting on some of these games, you can always try. There's a couple that I use, crypto.com. It allows you to use your crypto, and actually you can bet on, you can pick games that by the spread, by the money line, over unders as well. And then, so if you want to try that, and then there'll be another referral link on there as well in the comments. If you want to try it out, feel free to do that. But it'll just give you a chance to maybe, put a couple of bucks here and there, and maybe, pad that bank account before the championship games on the Final Four and April 4th. And the championship games April 6th. So, but anyway, thanks for listening. If you can, like, and if you feel so inclined, go ahead and subscribe. But I hope you have a great tournament, and, hope some of these picks help. Thanks. Have a good one.